Hello everyone. This is the part 2 of the series of Standard 1 and 2 revision for trial and HSC. So now we're doing the third question. A business called Plush Planet manufactures soft toys. There is a fixed daily cost of $60 to operate the factory, plus a variable cost for each toy produced. A graph shows that the total production cost for 40 toys is 200. So that's the point here. Well, let's have a look. X-axis is the number of toys, which is represented by N. Y-axis is the cost or income, which is dollars, money. Sample point that it's here on this graph is 40 toys. It's going to cost $200. Part A. Give the equation of the line shown in the form of C equals mn plus B, where C is total cost in dollars and is the number of toys produced. That's that C is a y-axis and N is x-axis. Now, linear equation form, which we use y equals mx plus C. But in here, we use C equals mn plus B. I think it's because you can't just, it's going to double up the C's. So instead of a C for your y-intercept, they used a B. So M is our gradient and a B in this case is y-intercept. Now, B is the y-intercept, which is the, it cuts through the y-axis. So let's have a look at the graph here. This is our y-axis, right? And this is our line that we need to find the equation for. Now, it cuts through 60. It actually starts from 60. So our y-intercept, which is B, is 60. Now, we need to find gradient M. Now, M is rise over run, which represents change of y's over change of x's. In this graph, it's change of cost over change of number of toys. The best thing will be creating a right angle triangle from 2 points. So I'm going to use this one and sample points here. And I need to create right angle triangle to get the rise over run. Okay, so I'm going to draw a right angle triangle with my ruler. I'm going to stop right there, directly under the point 40 and 200. And I'm going to draw a straight line down there. So this is a right angle triangle. So change of my axis. Now you have to remember, this is a 0 here, and that's going up to 40. So my change is 40. Now that's my run. My rise, change of my y-axis, which is the cost. Now that starts from 60 and ended up to 200. So it's not really 200, isn't it? It's actually from here to here is 200. Take away 60, which is 140. 140 is my rise. So my gradient equals the rise 140 and run 40. Now, if I simplify that, it'll be 7 over 2, which is 3.5. Okay, and also you notice that it's going up onto the right, so it's a positive. So it's good to check that. Now I'm going to write my equation. C equals my M is now 3.5 N plus my B is 60. So my equation for this line on the left is C equals 3.5 N plus 60. Okay, part B. The toys sell at a wholesale price of $6.50 each. On the graph, draw the line that represents the income from sales of n toys and label it with its equation. So before we draw the line, we need to do equation. It says here, the income, so I'm going to put I equals sales of n toys. So it's something to do with the n. And sales, so it's a profit. How much is it selling for? $6.50 each. So each time we sell, we're going to earn $6.50. So I'm going to go $6.50, 6.5 times number of toys. That will be our equation for income. Now, the best way to draw a line is to doing a table values. Now, normally on the top is my X, and then my bottom is my Y. So in here, my Y is I, my X is my N here. If I put all this in a calculator, N is 10, which means 6.5 times 10, it'll be 65. So that's my I. And then when N is 20, 6.5 times 20, my I, the income, is 130. And when you do the same thing for N is 30, it'll be 195. And then when N is 40, my I will be 260. So each one will create a point. So when N is 10, my I is 65. N is 20, my I is 130. My N is 30, I will be 195. When N is 40, my I is 260. We just need to plot the points on the graph. So when it's 10, it's going to 65. Now the scale here, unit, is going 0 to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a 4 equal gaps here. So you know it's going up by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So I know 65 is just above 60. And then when it's a 20, 130. Halfway between 120 and 140. I just noticed that it's on this original line, which means its intersection point that sort of indicates break-even point. Okay, 30 is 195. So I'm going to go to 80, between 180 to 200 and halfway, and then one more. So that'll be my 195. And then when it's 40, I'm going to go up to 260. 260 is easy there, so right on the dot there. Okay, so I've done it. And obviously, something I was missing was when n equals 0. When n equals 0, whole thing will be 0 because 6.5 times 0 is 0. So my starting point is 0, 0. Okay, I'm going to call up my trusty ruler and draw the straight line up. Voila. So that's my I. And it says here, draw the line and then label it with its equation. So I'm going to label it here. I equals 6.5n. Okay. And I'm just going to label the other one as well. This one, it was a C equals 3.5n plus 60. That was, we've done it in a part A. All right, so now I can see this intersection point there. So I wonder what kind of question we were going to get for next. Part C, using the graph or your equations, I'm going to use my graph, find the break-even point. Aha, there you go. We knew it was coming. Where the cost of production equals the income from sales. State the number of toys and the amount in dollars at that point. Okay, this is a much neater, bit nicer graph. So break even, as we know, it was at n equals 20 and the cost was $130. So that's my break even. When the equation of I and equation of C reach together. So my breaking point is 20 and 130. And it represents the number of toys equals 20 because it's here. 20, it's number of toys, and 130 is right here. 130 is the cost amount. Amount in dollars is $130. Okay, so I answer those questions. Now, question 4. Write the formula H equals RS plus T over 4 with R as the subject. So it's to change the subject. So I copy the formula down here. What I'm going to do, I want the R to be on my left-hand side. I feel a bit more safe that way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just swap the positions. So I'm going to write RS plus T all over 4 equals H. I haven't done anything different. I just swapped. And then now I'm going to do the operation. So times by 4 because I want to get rid of this 4, the fraction. I don't feel safe with the fraction some reason, so I want to get rid of it. So to do that, I need to times by 4 on both sides. So when I do that, these 4s will cancel out. That's the whole point of timesing by 4. So I'm left with RS plus T equals 4H. Okay, so next step will be I want to get rid of T from both sides because I want the R to be by itself on the left. So then it'll cancel out on this. I have RS equals 4H minus T. And then, we're nearly there, I want it to be R by itself, but it has S next to it, so I'm going to divide it by S on both sides. Then it'll cancel out. Now I have R by itself on the left. So R equals now 4H minus T over S. That is my I equation. Okay, that's it. That's all for this video. See ya.